Alrighty, here we go. Let's see if this works. Patience will win every single time. And that is what we're waiting for. Hopefully this is working. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having an awesome evening. It's great to see all of you again. Awesome to get back on the live stream grind today, as today we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of releases, and I'll explain why as everybody starts to get in here. So hope everybody's doing well. Feel free to ask any questions here as we get started today, and very excited once again for this live stream. We're going to be covering a bunch of really awesome releases that we haven't got a chance to take a look at yet. So what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Aviation LAS. What's going on, guys? Hey, Anthony, how are you doing? Great to see you. Awesome to get back to live stream. Like I said, it's been a while, so really excited for this. What's up, TPA Ape Geek? Great to see you, man. Hope you're doing awesome. And Superflyer 991 and JJ as well. Can you not hear me? Let me look. What's the deal here? Oh, I know what the deal is. Let's see, what can I do here? Not that. Okay, let's try that. Can you hear me now? Sorry, I haven't streamed on this computer in like 3 years. It's been a while, or 2 years. Let's see. Okay, you can hear me. Okay, what's going on, everybody? Sorry about that. I was trying to play some background music, and hopefully it's working, but I had it on the wrong output. So hopefully everybody can hear me. What's going on, everybody? Great to see you all. How's everybody doing? Really excited to get back in the live streaming grind, as today we have a bunch of really exciting releases to cover. So I'll let everybody get in here, and then we'll get started. And I appreciate the big crowd for tonight. Really excited for this. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And let me get this going here on Instagram real quick. All right, and let me get the link added here, and then we'll go ahead and get started. But hope everybody's doing well. There's been so many releases that have came out during my absence, so I thought it would be really fun to do a full live stream to cover them on. So what's going on, everybody? Carlos, Billy, Aviation LAS, Anthony, Jackson, ROC Aviation. How is everybody doing? Love the effort. As today we have a bunch of really exciting releases to take a look at, and feel free to let me know when all of you are ready for a new background song as well, but I'll just let it play. Okay, the Instagram post is out, so let's go ahead and get started. How's it going, everybody? So I hope everybody's excited for this, so feel free to check out all the release reactions we've been doing lately, but this is where we left off here. And if you can see the scroll bar over here, the really small little piece, we're halfway down the jet collector page, so we have like probably 150, 200 planes at least take a look at. So yeah, hope everybody's doing great, and it's going to be absolutely awesome to take a look at all these releases. So any topics or any discussions we want to have before we get started today, it's going to be an awesome set of releases. Feel free to chime in on what you think about all of them, but we have a bunch from Inflight 200, JC Wings, Aviation 400, Aviation 200, Phoenix, you name it. So we got a bunch to take a look at, so it's going to be absolutely awesome. So should be some really good releases. It's all of what's came out since probably May 25th or so. It's a very extensive list of airplanes, so it's going to be awesome. So hope all of you are excited for this. Feel free to chime in as each and every one of you would like to, but we have a bunch of releases to take a look at today, and we can't waste any further time. So without any further delay, everybody, we'll just go ahead and get started. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So let's go ahead and start. I'm going to try to situate the aircrafts here on one of the sides of the screen, hopefully the left. The left would be best because my webcam's on the right, or I guess I can flip it over since it works a little bit better like that, doesn't it? So let me move this over here. There we go. And now we can take a look at all these aircraft. So let's go ahead and get started, and feel free to speak up if you have any additional thoughts. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Okay, our first aircraft, let's see. I'm trying to remember exactly where the last video left off, but I believe it was with this JC release right here. So the first aircraft's going to be this Garuda 737-800, and this is going to be Papa Kilo Golf Mike Zulu. So a nice looking aircraft there, 1-200 to start out that lineup. The next aircraft is an Air Canada Airbus A340-500 in old livery with the stand. This is Charlie Golf Kilo Oscar Mike. That's a nice looking aircraft, really good mold right there, so we love that. Absolutely, Continental will be here coming up soon. Here is I think we covered that one. So it was these two, the start. So that's a really nice start to the lineup here. Very nice. Everybody's getting the chats in there. I love it. Okay, so here's a ERJ 190 freighter. This is the house colors, and this is going to be November 986 Tango Alpha, which is a really cool aircraft right there. So really cool to see the E freighters getting after right there. That's absolutely awesome. Our next aircraft is going to be a Martin MD-11 in the 40 years livery. Sorry about the CGI. This is Papa Hotel Mike Charlie Tango. So a nice looking aircraft right there. What do we think about these releases, guys? Feel free to speak up on any of them. Here's a Long Airlines Airbus A320 heart-to-heart livery, and this is going to be Bravo 1673. So a very unique aircraft. Never heard of this airline. If anybody knows, I'm sure from China, probably by the judging by the registration. So very cool to see that right there. Oh, is that right? Yeah, the release reaction, I did talk about doing a live stream at some point. Well, today's our day, so that's absolutely awesome. Here is a 777-9X House Colors 1:200 scale by JC Wings. Right here, actually, ironically enough, I have a Skymarks one I got at the at Everett, the Future of Flight Museum gift store. So cool to have that one, but it's cool to see JC Wings doing a little bit nicer of one there. So that's absolutely awesome. Yeah, it is really cool to see Frontier returning over there to JFK. That's really nice. All right, next up we have a Cargolux 747-8 freighter in 1:200. This is going to be Lima X-Ray Victor Charlie Foxtrot. So a nice looking aircraft right there for sure. This is going to be a Japan Airlines 737-800, and this is going to be the Shimano jet. Not exactly sure how to say that, but this is our flaps down version, and this is going to be Gulf Alpha 330 Juliet. Quite a colorful livery. And there's the flaps up version as well. Welcome, Raiji 767. Hope you're doing well. And the 777X is nice. Yes, it's a really cool aircraft. So glad to see more releases coming out here from JC Wings. Here's their Korean Air 777 cargo freighter, and this is going to be Hotel Lima 8077. So definitely a pleasant looking airplane right there. That's awesome. Yeah, we'll have to see when the 777X goes into service. I hope so, because I love looking at them. The winglet concept is extremely cool. Our next aircraft for JC Wings, as we're still in 1:200, is a China Eastern Airbus A350-900 XWB with the flaps down and up, and this is going to be Bravo 305 X-rays. So definitely would like to get a China Eastern plane at some point, perhaps a special livery, considering that's a pretty dull livery otherwise. Our next aircraft is a Qantas Link-Dash Q400 pink ribbon color scheme, and this is going to be Victor Hotel, Quebec, Oscar Hotel. That's a really nice looking plane. Definitely would be high on my list if I was just picking some for fun. So that's very nice to see right there. I did see the new Breeze Red at Orange County. It's quite nice. A Hainan Airlines 737 MAX 8, and this is going to be with a stand, Bravo 1388. So a nice looking plane right there. So cool to see that one. Carlos being the silly goose. Okay, next up we have a Lufthansa 727-100 in the polished livery. This is going to be Delta Alpha Bravo India Oscar. What a great looking airplane. Overall, this is really nice. I also should note that my internet has got refreshed since I've last done a live stream here at my house. So we actually have fiber internet now, so no more issues, which is absolutely awesome. I hope to do some more flight live streams soon. Dylan and I have both been busy during the summer, so hopefully we'll be seeing some of those coming up here very soon. So that'll be awesome. We love the American Mad Dogs. In fact, here is the NG release right here, 9620 Delta, of course. Very nice release, and absolutely recommend it if you're looking for a wonderful MD-80 aircraft. They're quite wonderful, so they're very nice. And Gavin, please be nice to Anthony. He's a good guy. Our next aircraft is going to be a Singapore Airlines Airbus E380 with the bare metal color scheme, and it's going to be Foxtrot Whiskey Sierra Mike. Love the bare metal liveries. Just got the Atlas 747. This is so ironic that all these are on my desk working out right now, but such a great looking plane right here. It is so nice. So definitely excited to get more aircraft like that. Not sure if it'll be the Singapore one, but we'll definitely have to keep looking. So that's absolutely awesome. Gentlemen, please be polite. That goes for Shrek 2 on VHS and ROC Aviation. You two know better. Our next aircraft is an absolutely beautiful Swiss Boeing 777-300ER with the face of the Swiss color scheme. And this is Hotel Bravo Juliet November Alpha. So another nice offering. All really fair prices, and a huge thank you to Jet Collector for carrying some of the best inventory in the land of diecast model aircraft in North America. Here's a Northwest Doubles DC-3 polished, and it's going to be November 39544. So really cool to see JC Wings exploring some of these very old throwback aircraft here in the United States. So that's quite wonderful. Oh yeah, for EAS, that's really cool. Or not EAS, rather. I think it's ECS for the Las Vegas convention. That's cool to note. And Billy, thanks for updating me on that. Okay, next we have a very cool KLM 747-400. This has the color sticker on it, has the flaps down, and it has an aviation tag. So definitely a very nice variety there of components going for that aircraft. So it's definitely really cool to see that, along with the flaps up. These are going for $192, so definitely a higher price tag, but considering the skin tag and the detail on those, it's definitely understandable. So definitely nice to see that. Jamie Campbell, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Our next airplane is going to be a Primair ATR 72-500. This is November 967 Alpha Zulu. Zulu. Great looking plane, and definitely still eager to pick up a Amazon Prime aircraft, the prop jet that is. So would love to get that sometime. China Airlines Airbus A321neo. It says 320, it's a 321. Bravo 18101. Very nice to see China Airlines getting more representation in the 1:200 scale. So that's definitely really nice. And our next aircraft is going to be a Pan Am 737-400 Clipper undotted, and this is going to be November 405 Kilo Whiskey. So that's definitely really nice to see right there. Yes, definitely excited for more A350s and the routes that they'll make possible among many really fun carriers. So that'll be really nice. And then we have the E-Train Cargo Boeing 737-400, and this is going to be Victor Papa Bravo Charlie Golf. Great looking plane right there. Very cool to see that one. So that's absolutely awesome right there. I agree. The Prime ATRs are definitely different, especially for short routes that they go with. And Descendant Aviation, I like that concept. We'll definitely have to do some Aviation Talk live streams in the future regarding topics like Delta and what wide bodies they choose. So thanks for bringing that to our attention. Here's a gorgeous ITA A320 in the 1:200 scale. This is Echo India Delta Sierra Yankee. And this, of course, has their current liveries. So that's really cool to see that right there. Thank you for the update, TPA. That's interesting that they painted them just to take them out of service. I do like that Pan Am 734. Thanks for commenting on that. It's quite a beautiful looking plane, so it's definitely really cool with the billboard titles to have those details there, so that's really nice. I definitely could see that perspective that's in aviation. I think they're both very capable airplanes in different ways, of course. A gorgeous SAS CRJ 900, and this is going to be Echo Sierra Alpha Charlie Bravo. Just got a 1:400. This 1:200 looks really great with the gloss and the SAS titles among the other features. So that's a really nice plane for $94.95 on that particular aircraft. New special liveries, I haven't seen any immediately lately, so we'll have to keep looking through these releases. Maybe we'll run into some. A Dragon, 27 viewers. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you're enjoying. Feel free to leave a like if you are and get more people in here that enjoy model aircraft releases too. Dragonair 737-200 Victor Romeo Hotel Yankee Lima. Beautiful looking plane. Love the gold trim there. That's quite nice. So that's definitely absolutely awesome to say the least. And then our next aircraft is a Scoot Airbus E321neo, and the registration is 9 Victor November Charlie Bravo. So another nice aircraft there as we get into our 1:400 scale offering. So it's definitely really nice. Yes, excited about the Team USA liveries. They'll be really nice. We might run into some more of those releases in this video. Here's a wooden narrow body stand for 1:200 aircraft for JC Wings. This is a nice looking stand, and definitely excited to expand the stand fleet, which is kind of interesting, but definitely cool to get a variety of stands in the collection. So that's quite nice. My favorite airplane is the McDonnell MD-80. Here is a model of an American Airlines example right here. It is super nice. So apologies, you can't really tell very well, but there you go. You can kind of see it a little bit better now. It is such a beautiful plane, but I love all airplanes for all the various characteristics that they have. And then I remember talking with Todd about this one rather. The 1:200 TWA MD-83 Wings of Pride livery. Of course, Gemini did their version earlier in the year, and now JC just comes right back and slaps it in their face. So quite an interesting one to say the least right there. And then the Scoots, I don't know if Scoots are related to Singapore. If anybody knows, let me know, but I know they both operate in that region, so definitely interested for sure. So we'd love to see that. But if anybody knows, feel free. I would love to hear the relation between Scoot and Singapore Airlines. Here is a beautiful Thai Airways BAE 146 Hotel Sierra Tango Bravo Mike. So definitely cool to see this aircraft making its rounds. It's quite awesome to say the least right there. And yes, the Reno Air hybrids are really cool, Jackson. I hope to see NG do those, but the Dragon Wing ones are also great. So we could go either way on that one for sure. I prefer the NG American MD-80s. They're awesome. Check out my video for more analysis on that, but they're just really beautiful planes for sure. Yes, I think the chat's civil, so I appreciate all of you keeping it civil there because we want to have fun here. We want to make references, so that's what we're going to do. Very cool to see another one of these JC house liveries done on the Bombardier CS100. This was a really unique livery. They mainly did the Airbus Blue house for the A220, so it's cool to see this one getting a model here. That's quite nice. Thank you, Empire, for the additional confirmation regarding what the status of Swoop is. That's quite wonderful. Next up is a British Airways Cargo 747-8, and it's Gulf Sierra Foxtrot, so that's definitely quite nice to see right there. I just want to make sure that my story posted on the live stream to make sure that was correct. Okay, yes. So looking very nice. Aviation LAS, my thoughts exactly. Expect some updated videos on GeminiJets and NG models coming here in the future. It's going to be really great. Greece, this is the time of year to get sunburned for sure. Next airport updates tomorrow. It will be Pensacola. And yes, I would like to see some 146 tankers done too. Absolutely. So a bunch of cool aircraft. Kind of nice to come over here to chat, look, and then do like 4 or 5 aircraft in a row. We're getting in a good groove here. I'm liking it. Let's continue with a Cathay Pacific Cargo 747-8 freighter, and this is Bravo Lima Golf Bravo. This would be a more applicable aircraft for my fleet and a pretty fair price there. So cool to note that. I would love to get some additional Cathay Pacific aircraft, and as I've talked about many times, finally really start that international cargo fleet. So I'm sure at collectible shows or equivalent, an opportunity will finally arise to get an EVA Air 777 or a Cathay Cargo airplane. So hopefully that will work in the future. Here's a really cool Turkish government 747-8 BBJ, and the registration is Tango Charlie Tango Romeo Kilo. So what a gorgeous looking plane that is right there. It's quite wonderful. Ooh, this is a very cool airline. I think I might have saw one of these recently. It's a Iberiojet or Iberiojet. It's I'm not exactly sure the pronunciation, but anyways, it's an A330neo, and it's Charlie Sierra Tango Kilo Hotel. So cool airline. I like the colors on it, and overall it looks really nice. Yeah, unfortunately, we've had a little bit of price increase, so hopefully we won't be seeing much more of that. And thank you for updating me on that TPA Geek. That's definitely very exciting. So that's going to be absolutely awesome right there. And yeah, all looking very nice right there. So would love to see that right there. And yes, definitely excited about the Nitro Q400. That's going to be a really cool aircraft right there. That's very exciting. Okay, next up we have this one I'm very excited about. This would be my top pick for a goof off aircraft if I were to have the money to buy one. This is a Air Act Cargo or ACT Boeing 747 freighter, and this is Tango Charlie Alpha Charlie Foxtrot. These fly to Dallas, Chicago, among other large airports, and it's a really cool looking plane. So very nice to see that, and a pretty reasonable $58.95 for the flaps up version. So definitely in the interest realms for sure on that aircraft. Let's continue up the list. Our next airplane is going to be the Japan Airlines 787-9, and this is Juliet Alpha 862 Juliet. However, this particular airframe has the flaps down, so cool to see this after popular releases from both NG and Phoenix. So definitely love to see that right there. And then there's the normal one for $51.95. That's a very fair price. And there's the 1-400 version of the E190 freighter. So excited to see what carriers could take it on. Do you think UPS, FedEx, or an equivalent carrier would take on an E-freighter? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments, or rather to chat in this particular case. Here, I'm going to do my best with this one. It's a Yamato Transport Airbus A321 freighter. Didn't even know this carrier was getting the 321Fs. This is Juliet Alpha 81 Yankee Alpha, so they might be the first Japanese carrier to take on the 321 freighter. So love the color on it. It's very unique, so that's definitely really cool to see right there. I would love an Iceland Air 321 XLR too. What's up, Nick? Hope you're doing awesome, and I'm 100% going to Atlanta next summer for Airlines International 2025, June 25th through 28th at the Delta Flight Museum, so definitely start making your plans. We'll have preparation videos when the hotel link drops, hopefully very soon. China Airlines 747 flaps down, Bravo 18215. So definitely a nice looking aircraft, and would love to get one of these sometime, especially a cargo one. I saw several of the cargo ones, so it's absolutely awesome. I agree, Shrek 2 on VHS, absolutely. And absolutely, and Billy would love to do that for you. And yeah, definitely some very unique international carriers. There's the passenger flaps up, and then here's the Norwegian 737 MAX 8 Echo India Foxtrot Yankee Bravos. So several of these MAX 8s have been done by JC. GeminiJets did one, and I actually got it at the show for like $15, so just got glued back on the engines. But very cool to see JC Wings making their rounds here. Norwegian's a very popular carrier over there in Europe, so it's really cool to see those releases getting done there. Yes, an Air France triple would be really great. I think Phoenix did one at some point, but maybe a year ago or so. So they will definitely be in the hangar, Delta hangar. I can assure you that for the show next year. China Southern 737-800 Bravo 1823. So definitely a really pleasant looking plane there, and cool to see JC knocking out a really wide variety of international airplanes. There we go. Would love to get one of these sometime. A beautiful Singapore Airlines Airbus A350-900. I still do not have a Singapore model, which is crazy to me considering that I've flown this exact one now, 9 Victor Sierra Golf Foxtrot. So that was such a fun experience. We may have some time at the end of the stream to go into some details about that trip, but Singapore is really cool, so that's definitely awesome to see right there. Might have to LAS and for sure TPA, absolutely. And I do, Ralph, I do. I was a blast to get to meet you, man. I'm so glad that you had a great time at the show. And yes, we need more LOT aircraft. I definitely need to get a model of a LOT 787 or equivalent soon. Here's a Condor Airbus A321. This has the island green colors, and it's Delta Alpha India Alpha Charlie. We'll have to go on the database. There's a brand new model aircraft database that's launched, so a full video will be coming on that, but I'm going to have to show you all the features of the database and what I immediately thought of with this Condor release is with the database, you can see all the releases that have been done for select airlines, scales, and other such criteria that you want to look at, and I just thought of all the different colors and combinations that have been done by all the manufacturers so far. So JC now does the green A321. Yes, the Singapore 350 is nice. Here's a really cool one. This is a Kuwait government Airbus A340-500, and this aircraft is 9 Kilo Golf Bravo Bravo. So definitely a very nice looking plane right there. Very unique in reference to the design, so that's definitely really nice. Yes, another BA 350-1000 would be great. They're very, very popular, and they keep getting more of them. Yeah, FedEx 190 freighter would be cool. Hello Pacific, hope you're doing wonderful. Yes, why has nobody made a TAP Neo? We really could use a TAP A321 Neo. They're very popular. I've seen them several times now, especially in like Boston. So it would be great to see those. There's a Ryanair 737-800 with the Dreamliner-like livery. This is Echo India Delta Charlie Lima. Cool to see more Ryanair aircraft. Definitely would like to get that one along with additional offerings there in the European sector for sure. These are really cool. A Royal Jordanian E190-E2, the 1800th Embraer E-Jet. So definitely an interesting one for them to do a sticker on. And this is going to be Juliet Yankee Romeo Echo Charlie. So cool to see Royal Jordanian now getting the E2s. Them, Heklavik, KLM, Porter, among a couple of other carriers are flying these around, and it's cool to see what airlines are committing to this aircraft. So it's absolutely awesome. And for sure, TPA will definitely take a look at that in the future. Yes, TAP 321 Neo needs to be done. I think that would be a great plane for NG to take on, but GeminiJets, Aviation 400, whoever's calling, it needs to be done. So yeah, the America 738 Classic's a tough one. But I do think we're going to run into one of those later in this video, so stay tuned. That got leaked to me, so stay on the lookout for that. It's going to be awesome. A Southwest Delta 11, why not? In the Average 8 Geek, hello, hope you're doing wonderful. 35 viewers, we're working on a record for the attendance of my live stream, so thank you all so much for being here this evening. I hope all of you are enjoying. I definitely would like to do more live streams like this. If you're enjoying, feel free to leave a like and share it with your friends to get more aviation enthusiasts involved with model aircraft collecting, and obviously shows like Airlines International and other fun aviation events. So definitely stay on the lookout for that. Spot LAX coming up, so a bunch going on. But anyways, this is a TUI 737 MAX 8. This is a 50-year special livery, and it's Delta Alpha Mike Alpha Hotel. You can see the blue, yellow, and orange really makes this quite a unique livery, so it's definitely very cool to note that right there. It's absolutely awesome. And next up, we have a beautiful Iceland Air 767-300 freighter cargo, Tango Foxtrot India Sierra Hotel. Great looking plane, definitely really cool to note this one, so that's absolutely awesome. And we have the flaps down Singapore A350-900. So definitely a wide array of planes for JC Wings. Do they continue? No, we go into Inflight. So our first one is going to be LOT. So Empire will be very happy about that. Emperor rather, excuse me. This is the LOT Polish Boeing 737 MAX 8. And this is going to be in a special livery I won't even try to pronounce. And it's going to be Sierra Papa Lima Victor Kilo. So a very nice sticker there. It has 100 on it. So that's really cool. And definitely a very unique special livery there to say the least. So that's really cool. Yeah, there's a bunch of DC-10s. I would love to see an updated American Airlines version. Would love to see, United. I know United would be cool. So there's plenty of airlines. I think of like the KLM ones too. So definitely a wide array of DC-10s that could be done for sure. And yeah, the TUI history is very interesting in all the various places that they've been for sure. Iceland Air does have a cargo branch. And the 737 MAX 10F would be quite interesting, so we'll see if that does become a reality. At this rate, it would sell better than the passenger version, so we'll see. Not that the passenger version sold bad, but it's got to get certified before it happens. Yes, the prices unfortunately are tough. Inflight 200 is one of the most luxury, one of the 200 companies out there, so luxury, where you can take a look at a United Airlines A321 Neo by them. And as you can tell, this model is really nice. Got it for $55 due to just a very small paint chip there on the bottom of the engine. I don't know if you can really see it that well, but there's a little chip somewhere on one of those engines, and it's very minute. So very happy to get that aircraft, and an unboxing video of that will be coming out here in the near future, so it'll definitely be exciting. Yeah, so we need another silver ATR release by GeminiJets or somebody. That would be a really good one to say the least. So yeah, American DC-10, quite an interesting aircraft. But yeah, so this is the Aloha 737-700 November 739 Alpha Lima. Very nice livery, and it's cool to see Inflight doing some unique aircrafts. Speaking of unique, this one is just as unique. A Qatar Airways A340-200 Alpha 7 Hotel Kilo. So it's very nice to see this aircraft done, and overall it looks really nice. We also have an Aer Lingus Airbus E320, and this is going to be Echo India Delta Echo Charlie with a special soccer livery on it. So that's definitely really cool. Got to see the retro livery in Amsterdam out of all places, so that was very fun last month. Really enjoyed that. Oh, this is really nice. An American Airlines 757-200 registered November 188 Alpha November. So perhaps they're taking some inspiration from the recent NG models 1-200 release. So plenty of options if you're an American 75 lover. Unfortunately, 140 is a little out of my budget for a plane that I have 5 of and 1-400. So that's where we go. So Gemini 200 compared to Inflight 200. Inflight 200 is going to be your NG models of 1-200 scale. They're much more proportionally accurate, and they're also much more down to the details with fan blades, pylons, among other really particular features. The landing gears have a little more detail. So NG models of 1-200. Whereas Gemini 200 is still very nice. You can get some really good aircraft, and it's especially important to note the price difference in these. So obviously the Inflights are substantially more compared to the proportions of NG, the GeminiJets, and 1-400. So Inflights, I mean, you get what you pay for. That's kind of the best way I can say. You know, they're really nicely detailed, and it's definitely nice to have a few of them. But if you're looking for quantity in your collection, you'll probably be better off with the Gemini 200. So that is definitely where we're at right there. So this Aviation J777X here, I'm looking for his account. I've not seen the name yet. So if he's here, what a talent show that would be. Carlos would love that for sure. All the goofballs doing what they do best. Okay, our next aircraft is a beautiful Atlas Air 747-200. This is a polished edition, November 516 Mike Charlie. So I'm not sure who would have had this aircraft prior to Atlas Air, if anybody, but I love the polish on it, and their billboard titles are very sleek in this particular scheme. So very cool to see that, and overall, that's really nice right there. We love to see that. It's really cool. Here's a Pan Am 747-100 polished this November 408, ironically enough. Papa Alpha. Very nice to see this aircraft. It looks quite wonderful. Little did they know a 747-8 variant would become a reality. And a Qantas 737-800 Victor Hotel Victor Zulu Zulu. So overall, a very nice aircraft. And there is Aviation J777X. He's an inspiration. So thank you, Jay, for being here, and I hope that you are doing wonderful. So I'm glad you're here. And next up, we're going to scroll up to our next round of releases. Ooh, I love one of these after flying this exact aircraft, the Lufthansa A321. This particular registration is Delta Alpha India Sierra Kilo. What an awesome flight I had on one of these from Frankfurt to Barcelona. Awesome sunset, really great meal, seat 3F. It was perfection. So really cool to see models getting released of it. Just a little bit boring of a livery, but it's the most economical. So yeah, Pan Am is really nice. That was a really good release. Speaking of very good releases, this time we're going to get an ITA Airways Airbus A320 Neo with the mask. This is Echo India Hotel Juliet Echo. Let me know what you think, but I think ITA definitely is a top 10 livery in the world. It is gorgeous with the blue. It's very, very nice. So I think they definitely are up there in regards to some of the nicest liveries in the world. They're really cool. So that's definitely really nice to see right there. Oh, I'll do my best with the pronunciation here. Air Calon, I think is the normal way, but the proper airline is Air Cadonian International. This is an Airbus E320 Neo. It appears it says 320. I think it's a Neo. And this is Foxtrot Oscar November Echo Alpha. This is a very cool livery with the flower and the other various pieces. Looks like we have some nectar coming off of it perhaps too. So it's definitely really cool to see all the details there, and overall it looks really nice. Thank you for the clarification, TPA. I appreciate that. Are you going to show a Meyer 1-400 scale? Yeah, we just have a bunch of 1-200s that haven't been covered yet because we've done the Gemini NG 1-400. So we had some JC Wings previously, and I'm sure we'll look into some more Aviation 400 Panda models soon. So they'll be coming up soon. There's the NG releases. We did cover that in a previous video, so feel free to check that one out at your convenience. Here's a UTA doubles DC-10. There's a very unique airline for that airplane. Foxtrot Bravo Tango Delta Foxtrot. So a very good looking plane. Love the polish. And the green doors is also quite unique. Tail is also very simple. So definitely some components to that aircraft, to say the least, right there. And what JJ said is important. Please be polite. Gavin, we love you, buddy, but you can't be cussing out Carlos in the chat, please. Okay, next up we have a Cathay Pacific Boeing 777-3 into ER, and this is going to be Bravo Kilo Pop Alpha 1-200 scale. This is a white box release. This is going to be $217. So there must be some sort of really cool piece to this one. I'm assuming it's probably just a limited edition release, probably only like 50 pieces made or equivalent. So that's definitely a cool one to see right there. And it's great to see that you've been here, JJ. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. And let's make sure that I haven't missed any messages. Oh, that's cool. Reggie767. Here's a TUI 737 MAX 8, and this is Papa Hotel Pop Tango Foxtrot uniform. I think they still have quite a few orders for these. I mainly saw 738s for them during my trip, so that's really cool to see that. Okay, now I believe all these will be NGs, so I'll just kind of go here in the middle, zoom out, and you can briefly take a look if you haven't got a chance to see them all, but they're a really good release. In fact, this might be the May release. I'm so behind. Let's see. No, I think this is June. It has the 7.6s, which I still have to order. Rest in peace, my wallet. So at least I get to flip-flop the Delta 7.6 because that's a new one, and then I'll keep my Gemini American 7.6 because it's a pretty special aircraft. So let's see. More NGs, boatload of NGs. Some of these probably have been delayed over time. And yeah, what's the deal with NG Lite? Can somebody explain what's going on with NG Lite? I've not been familiar, but apparently NG's now doing these light airplanes, which I was unfamiliar with, and I don't think that I got a chance to cover this in the release, or I was confused. But this is a Boeing 747, and this is November 7470, which I think is the first ever 747 to be made. But I guess the NG Lite would be a slightly less quality plane. I don't know exactly what's going on, but if anybody knows, feel free to let me know. I appreciate it. Yes, more Lot 1 to 400s. That'd be great. And yeah, my wallet. Do I even have my wallet? I don't even have it here. I'm so broke. I'm kidding. But yeah, it's not going to be pretty when all these planes I still have to order are on the list. But yeah, definitely going to get the American 762 and the Delta 763. I already got the beautiful Panda Delta 764. I mean, I have that one, but the United 764, so I won't get that NG because I already got this, and there's really no nitpicks at all to this one. It's as good as they get. So yeah, that would be great in Great Plains, which I'll be setting up very soon. So stay on the lookout for airport updates of that. So that'll be really fun. Yeah, it's some sort of promotional deal, I think, with NG Lite because it looks normal to me. So, however, I don't see any antennas or any of that on this aircraft. So is that the compromise you make with that? I don't know, but it's pretty interesting. Oh, thank you for the update, JJ. I appreciate it. So the NG Lite line was not to standard, so they gave a discounted price to some of those. So maybe at a collectibles show would be a good place to get one of those. I don't know, but it's definitely cool. So it's absolutely awesome. And yeah, what is better, Delta SkyTeam 764 or the new United 764? It's really nice. I also like the Copa Max 9, but GeminiJets a bunch. That massive unboxing will be coming out on maybe August 11th, I think is the day. So it'll be coming soon. But we have Massive Unboxing 51 first, which is really great. So stay on the lookout for that. Okay, so next up we have more Inflight 200s. This is a SAS doubles DC 1030, and this is Sierra Echo Delta Foxtrot Delta. So definitely a gorgeous looking plane right there. It's quite nice. And that's really cool, right? G767. I love London Heathrow. It's such a cool airport. Very special. Ooh, this is really cool. A Inflight 200 United 737 Mac, or this is a 900 ER rather. November 53441. I've flown a handful of United 739s. They're very cool planes. So this definitely would be nice, but I don't really have $120 for this particular purpose. So that's unfortunate, but I did get the Neo for 55. So you never know. There might be an opportunity that arises. I can get some more cool planes like that, but the Neo is great. That fit in so well because I love the United Neo and definitely excited to get my 1 to 400 at some point when Texan Airplane Store gets them in stock. I ordered it on Black Friday. It is July of the next year. I don't know what's going on. He says he's been combining shipping to save some money on his side, so I'll cut him some slack. He's a college student like me, but I would like to get my United Neo at some point, 1 to 400, so I can put it in the airport updates. So we'll see what happens, but that's the update on why I don't have that one yet. Next up, we have a Luxair 737 MAX 8. This is Lima X-Ray Lima Bravo Lima. This is a nice looking livery too, so excited to get that one on my hands here in the near future. I think Inflight 200's their own company. If anybody knows any more details, feel free to let me know, but I think they're their independent subsidiary. So if anybody knows, feel free to speak up. I would love to know exactly what's going on with them. Here is a Shrinen Airways Airbus A340-300 Papa Zulu Tango Charlie Romeo. Definitely a cool looking livery there. They got some nice birds that are on the tail and the engines as well. So that's definitely really nice to see it right there. And this is a Airbus House Airbus E300 Foxtrot Whiskey Uniform Alpha Bravo. I know Phoenix did one in 1 to 400 among a couple other companies. So cool to see Inflight 200 making their rounds on that as well. I remember these releases just very briefly now that I've seen them all together, because I remember seeing a DG pilot post, but I wouldn't have been able to tell you that they did the United 739 until I saw that E300. So definitely nice. But yeah, I think it's just Inflight 200 that is an independent company, I believe. So thank you, Ralph. I'm really excited about 10,000 subscribers. So I thank all of you for your support of my channel over the last 7 years now on a week from Monday will be, or sorry, is a week from today? Let me see here. Oh yeah, a week from Monday is my 7-year anniversary on this channel, which is so exciting. So I thank all of you for your continued support of my channel. It has been the best summer yet, and I can only imagine what the future is going to look like with so many more cool videos and so many fun activities, events, and so on. So definitely stay on the lookout for it, as you're not going to want to miss any of it. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. I'm very excited about it. JC Wings DC-10 mold, not very familiar with it, so definitely going to be awesome. But yeah, I can't believe I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers. That's top 5,000 in the world, which is crazy to think about. So really cool. That's very exciting. Okay, Narcan, the 747-100, Charlie Golf Alpha. Nice looking livery there. I like the silver on the underbelly, so all of that makes it really great. And overall, it looks really nice. So it's going to be absolutely awesome. Here is a very unique DC-10. This is a USAF KC-10A, so a variant of the DC-10. And this is 830075. Really like the look of this aircraft. Overall, it looks quite wonderful in reference to its effort, so that's definitely really cool to see that right there. Thank you, Aviation LAS. That's very nice of you, along with TPA Ape Geek. Very excited about this milestone. Not many predominant model aircraft content creators on YouTube make it to this point, so I really appreciate it. And Colorful Flowers has probably been playing in the background for 30 minutes. We can get a different song at this point. It's a good song, but not that good. I'm just kidding. Let's see here. What song could we roll if? Why don't we go with Going Up by Lakely Inspired, because it's a good offering. So let me make sure I turn it down so I don't blast the ears. And let me put it on loop so that it doesn't only play once. Okay, hopefully that sounds good. All right, let's continue here with the offerings. Ooh, we need a Shrek V2 on VHS. This is a Continental Airlines 757-300 with winglets. Registration is November 57857, and this is $139. So very nice aircraft right there. Continental was a very neat airline, and I don't have any livid memories of them, unfortunately, but what I do have is some models, so we love that. And here is at Aerologis Argentina's Boeing 747-200, and this is Lima Victor Mike Lima Oscar. Love the livery. It's very cool. They've definitely developed that significantly. They actually reverted kind of compared to what other airlines do. They have a full colored livery kind of now relative to this one, which was almost more of a Euro white. So they've definitely developed it over time. So that's been cool. So we absolutely love to see that. And I knew he was going to like that. There's your Continental 753 for you, dude. Hopefully you can save up and be able to get that. He is very excited. Yeah, I'm very excited about the Air Greenland E330-800 Neo by NG. Would love to get that sometime. It's a really cool looking plane. Okay, we have a El Avador Volaris Airbus E320 Raccoon Mask, and it seems like the titles are bolded, but I think it's just blown up CGI. This is going to be November 546 Victor Lima. Gorgeous looking plane. Definitely really like the look of it, and excited to obtain more Volaris planes in the future. I do like the old SAC scheme. That is nice, Jackson. I agree. Okay, Mexicana 727-100. This is by Undefined, so I'm not sure which company they're trying to block out there, the manufacturer that is, but it's undefined. This is going to be X-Ray Alpha Mike Echo Papa. A gorgeous looking plane, and overall it looks really nice. So that's definitely really cool to see right there. Another Mexicana, also by Undefined. This is going to be a DC-10-15 variant. Very cool. November 10045. So I love the gold trim. Not many airlines used gold, especially on the engines too. Very great attention to detail. So pretty interesting how they went from that gold color to a teal color, obviously. So definitely some really interesting movements right there. So that's cool. And next we have a Jaways DC-1040, and this is going to be the Resica livery, somewhere in there. And this is by B Models. This is Juliet Alpha 8547. So a nice looking plane there too. Kind of some hybrid action going on. Yeah, Undefined. Could they make some more aircraft that we really want? But we got a United E320, which I'm super excited about from Attitude Models. I've been so excited to finally get a United 320, so that will finally happen. So looking super forward to that coming in, and it will be a huge asset at the model airports. Here is a J Air E170, and this is going to be the wheelchair rugby livery. Okay, that's an interesting one. Juliet Alpha 225 Juliet. So this is a very interesting aircraft to kick off our next round of GC Wings releases here. So that's definitely interesting right there. Ghana A318 or A330-800 Neo. I did not. Interesting. Yeah, these DC-10s are kicking. And speaking of DC-10s, a Northwest Airlines doubles DC-10. This is a 30 variant, November 227 November Whiskey in 1:200 scale. That's a hot plane, man. That's really nice. This is $173, but I mean, that is a great looking plane for anybody that really likes the Bowling Skew livery. I personally think that it's the best Northwest livery. So that's very cool to see that. More DC-10s will probably continue. I know TPA, it's unfortunate, but it's finally an Evo plane, so it's tough to complain too much. Here is a LATAM Airbus A320 Neo. This is going to be the first one they got, and this is Charlie Charlie Bravo Hotel Golf. So very critical airplane, as these fly some really long routes for LATAM. So it's awesome to see another El Avador model getting made right there. We also have a Sky Airlines Airbus A320 Charlie Charlie Alpha Zulu Charlie. These are really cool to see at airports like Miami. So they have a unique use for aircraft like that, rather. So that's really cool. If only I had the money for 200 scale. I'm right there with you, buddy. Bowling shoe is hot. So that's awesome to see. Okay, we have Air China 737-800. This is a yellow livery, and this is going to be Bravo 5198. So definitely a cool looking aircraft and offering. And this is what I was talking about. If I get a China Eastern or Air China plane, it probably needs to be a special, considering how boring the rest of the liveries are. And that's not to be offensive, that's just the truth. They're pretty simple liveries. A DLT HS748, that is a heck of a plane. Golf Bravo Golf Juliet Victor, never heard of this period at all. I don't even know what a HS748 is. Looks like a very small Saab 340, but yeah, that's a heck of a plane right there. So definitely interesting to note that one. Definitely interesting. Yeah, TWA 737, that's nice. Yeah, the Bowling shoe, that's a nice release, man. That's definitely a really good one. Ironic that we were going over all the DC-10s at the same time, too. This is going to be a Onapon Airways 737-200. The registration of this plane is going to be Juliet Alpha 8410. That's definitely a really nice one to see right there. So overall, a quality offering there in the 1-200 sector. We also have a Cathay Pacific Airbus A340-600, and this is going to be Bravo Hotel Quebec Charlie. Very nice plane right there. I thought it was interesting they didn't fly these to the United States as much. I thought we'd see a couple more of them fly in, but obviously it's a very limited network to begin with. I just immediately think of Lufthansa when I think the 346, of course, but I would have expected maybe one or two more of these to show up. So definitely an interesting thought there, but nevertheless, we make our rounds, so that's quite nice right there. Okay, this is a bad CGI, so apologies. Finnair Airbus A350-900 XWB. This is that special blue back livery, the McCauley. I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced, but it is a flaps down aircraft. Oscar Hotel Lima Whiskey Lima. So fun to fly a Finnair 350. Was so fortunate to do that. These are very nice aircraft in all sectors. Great service from Finnair as well, I should add. And Helsinki is a very unique place in reference to their efforts. So very cool that they have the flag carrier in Finnair. And overall, it's really nice. So we love to see that. Yeah, a bunch of Cathay, a bunch of United. Who else? We're seeing quite a bit of the Chinese carriers, obviously. A handful of United or American aircraft. Mainly, it's a very unique sector here. Also, quite a few Mexicanas now with this GC Wings purple release. They've had quite an interesting variety of colors. This 727-200 is the Malta livery, and it's X-Ray Alpha Mike X-Ray Charlie. So definitely a very unique aircraft there in reference to the design. Alphaless is Alphaless, okay? He's a character, okay? He really, really likes select parts of the world, but I can definitely tell you that he does not like that Finnair CGI, and neither do any of us. So what's up, Chucky? Hope you're doing wonderful, and I count the pixels as well. In fact, my webcam is substantially better than that, so it happens to the best of us. What can I say? Okay, next up we have a Rick Airways Indy 82 polished, and it's going to be Yankee Uniform Alpha November Bravo. It's a really good looking plane right there. I really like the polish, so overall looks really good. It also has the curved up piece in the back, so I didn't know that mold existed. I don't think an American Indy 80 has been done with the curved up back piece, so it'd be cool to see that from somebody in the future. And there's the flaps down version of the Air China 737 special. Our next aircraft will be a Lufthansa Boeing 737-500. This has the football nose on it and is registered Delta Alpha Bravo India November. Gorgeous looking plane. Overall, it looks really nice. So that's really nice right there. Joe is a legend. Our next airplane is a Asiana Airbus A321neo Hotel Lima 8371. So it's definitely really nice to see that aircraft right there. No CGI, but I'm sure it's looking quite wonderful. And this is a Qantas Airbus A330-300 with the Rainbow Rue livery. And this is going to be Victor Hotel, Quebec, Papa Juliet. So definitely quite the aircraft right there. We also have an Air New Zealand Boeing 777-200ER. This is the all-black livery with the white nose, so definitely interesting hybrid, which is Zulu Kilo Oscar Kilo Hotel. I need to write a list of every international carrier that I don't have an aircraft of. It's Air New Zealand, Singapore. There's a handful of them, especially probably in the Asia sector, that I really would like to expand on. Obviously, this is closer to Australia with Air New Zealand, but there's a bunch of planes like this that are too iconic, and I'll have to go back and get some of the Aviation 400 ones because their airplanes are awesome. So definitely excited to continue to expand in all sectors there, so that's quite nice. No image was unfortunate for sure. Yeah, where are the lots on one of the 400s? Surely JC will have one coming up here at some point. Next up is a Japan Cargo 747-400 freighter. This is a polished aircraft and it has the flaps down. Juliet Alpha 402 Juliet. So definitely a beautiful polished livery right there. And you can even see some of the JC Wing studio there for sure. In reference to Air New Zealand 772. So very nice. And there's the normal one. Next is Airbridge Cargo Interactive 777 freighter. It's Victor Quebec Bravo Alpha Oscar. So interesting to see Airbridge Cargo with a variety of registrations across the world. Yes, that Air New Zealand's really nice. Yes, is it really the same registration at Jet Midwest? Let's look at that one more time. That's a really good looking plane. But yeah, it was so cool to see that Jet Midwest. That video is coming out soon. Next week, though, we'll be doing the L1011 TriStar tour from the TriStar experience, which was a bunch of fun. So definitely stay on the lookout for that on Thursday. I think will be the day that's uploaded. Okay, next up we have a Bangkok Airways ATR 72500 Hotel Sierra Papa Golf Golf. So definitely a beautiful looking plane. Got Mimo and all the guys on there. So that's definitely really cool. Overall, it's really nice to see that right there. It's to a degree. We love the effort, and overall, it's really nice. Company with the orange box, that would be JC Wings that has the orange boxes. I don't have one in immediate reach, but JC Wings typically has the orange boxes. So the company that we're looking at right now does those orange boxes. In fact, I got an EasyJet A320neo and it actually came with a specification card, which was really cool. So that was nice. Okay, this is an Aeromexico 737-700 in the Go Vista livery, so obviously promoting the credit cards. This aircraft's November 784 X-Ray Alpha, so definitely a gorgeous looking plane right there, and overall that's really nice in reference to the design. And this is an Iran Air 727-100, and this is Echo Papa India Romeo Delta. So definitely really nice to see that right there. Got to see a 332 for them at Heathrow. So yeah, they do fly places, which is awesome to see. Okay, how about a Christ Air ERJ-145-145LU? It's going to be Hotel Bravo Juliet Alpha November. Very cool to see the 1-200 145 mulligan used. It looks pretty nice. I got to see Plane Spotter DK's American version last year, so definitely really cool to note that right there. It's quite nice. The Manchester City Etihad livery is awesome. I hope that we run into some cool special liveries here very soon. This aircraft I did see at Amsterdam. It was beautiful. It's a KLM SkyTeam 737-900, and it's going to be Papa Hotel Bravo X-Ray Oscar. SkyTeam's so beautiful. I know it's not related at all to what we're talking about, but this is my KLM E2 in the 400 scale. I did a model review the day after I flew it, and it was really cool. It's a very, very capable airplane. I hope to see some airlines, if Southwest ever moves away from the 737, maybe them or an equivalent Delta or even American, get the E2. I love the plane. Overall, it looks really nice. So that's definitely very cool to see that right there. That's really unfortunate to hear, Jackson. Okay, next up, we're going to have a Virgin Orbit 747-400. This is the flight test one, rocket version 2. November 744, Victor Golf, fittingly enough. Very cool to see that aircraft, and definitely a very catered market for that one. This is another airline that I would like to get some time. This is a Cebu Pacific Airbus A330-900neo Romeo Papa Charlie 3901. Good looking plane, a very unique airline. I don't know where they're based out of. I'm sure it's somewhere over there in the Asia region, but overall it looks very nice right there. So that's definitely really cool. J-Man Campbell, 100% agree, not even close. The British Airways One World 747s were incredible. So very cool to note that right there. This is an Air Canada 767-200, and this is the Gimel Glider Polish livery, and it's Charlie Golf Alpha Uniform November. Very nice livery, and it looks quite wonderful. I also want to respect the fiber internet and being able to get much better connection here in rural Oklahoma. We used to get so frustrated with how bad the connection was, and we haven't dropped a frame. So It makes all the difference when funding is provided for people like me. So it's quite awesome, but also have to keep in mind everybody in the big towns that's still trying to get fiber. So I hope that happens very soon. But high-speed internet is finally affordable, and we absolutely love to see that now. So it's really cool. It's in the Philippines. Thank you, Pacific. I knew that you were going to be the person to ask for that. There's the flaps down version of the Go Vista Aeromexico 700. Okay, we're still in 1 to 200 here for JC Wings. I think we're about halfway through or so of all these releases. Our next one's going to be the Ethiopian Airlines A350-1000, and this is going to be the first A350 in Africa, which is really cool. And this is going to be with flaps down, and it's Echo Tango Bravo Alpha Whiskey. Great looking plane. Would absolutely love to get one of these sometime. I saw the 900 landing, or sorry, that's wrong. I thought I saw one in Ethiopian 350, but I know I saw the 789 landing at Stockholm. It's a very unique carrier. I saw their 787 at ATL previously too. So Ethiopian's definitely a cool airline right there, to say the least. Next up is the flaps up version, of course. So that's definitely awesome to see. And then we have a DHL 737-400, and it's going to be November 498 Sierra Alpha. So that's definitely really nice to see right there. 459 seats on the Cebu Pacific 330 Neos. That's insane. Wow, must be all economy. Okay, there's the JC Wings 1-200 version of the last 747 in the assembly colors, and it's November 863 Gulf Tango. I wonder if they put the stickers on the other side or not, but that's definitely nice. Yes, Aviation ROA, definitely need KLM 330. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for coming to the live stream tonight, along with the rest of you as well. So that's absolutely awesome. Okay, we have a Boeing House Livery Experimental 747-8 Freighter. It's November 747 Echo X-Ray. So that's definitely very nice to see right there. So overall, it's really cool. Love the tail. Okay, this is a very unique plane from JC Wings. This is a 1-400 scale release. This is an Aeroflot Antonov 32 Charlie Papa 46961. I'm assuming this is developed off the Antonov 26 mold. If anybody knows, feel free to speak up. Quite a unique release right there. The engines are bigger than the fuselage pretty much. So that is a very, very interesting plane right there. So how about that? So very interesting right there. And then we have another Cathay Pacific Cargo 747-8. However, this time it's going to be the Hong Kong Trader special liveries. So cool to see that. They push a bunch of cargo through that region, of course. So it's really cool to get this aircraft in Bravo Lima Juliet Alpha. So that's very nice to see right there. And this is a Cathay Dragon Airbus E321 with IAEs. This is going to be by Blue Box. It's JC Wings. And the registration here is Bravo Hotel Tango Golf. So very cool to see this aircraft. Nose looks a little clunkier compared to the recent Gemini releases. I thought the American 321s were much more precise than what that image looks like. So maybe this one was made a while ago. I don't know. It's a real possibility. So whatever the case, it's pretty interesting right there. Okay, next up we take on a Japan Airlines 787-8. This is the Expo 2025 livery. It's Juliet Alpha 823 Juliet. That's a really nice looking plane right there. It has, is this like a loading symbol here? I don't know exactly what it's doing, but it's really cool to see more Japan aircraft getting released, and the 788 is a prime example of that. So that's really cool. So overall, looking very nice right there. And then we have the flaps up as well. So some very nice looking liveries there in reference to their effort. Oh yes, agreed, Jamie and Campbell for sure. Another on Nippon 737. This time it's a 700 in 1-400 scale with limited edition skin tags. So they're valuing the skin tag here at about $23, which I think is a really, really fair discount considering that normally these aircraft, or sorry, the skin tags can go as high as $40. So if you're looking to get an airplane along with the skin tag, and hopefully we'll get more applicable releases to us in the future, obviously not as many of my fellow viewers are collecting the ANA 737-700s, but maybe we'll see JC Wings do even some retro narrow-body U.S. aircraft in the future like this. But it is really cool to see them pairing up and giving really good value because, again, the model's worth about $48, $49. Then you add this on, so the skin tag's definitely a substantial discount. So it's really cool to see that right there. Delta's down bad right now. It's really unfortunate. I really hope that they can pull it together in the near future because they are running out of time. Their stock's not going to be pretty tomorrow. Okay, next up we have a Bathurst Royal Flight Boeing 767-400. It's Alpha 9 Charlie Hotel Mike Hotel. Good looking plane right here. I love the colors on it, and overall it looks really nice. Cool to see the 764 getting used to its fullest potential right there considering the limited offerings. Oh, very nice, right? G767. That's very cool. Next, we have a Multi Air 737 MAX 8. This is 9 Hotel Victor Uniform Alpha. I did see one of these airplanes, so it's really cool that they have a variety of aircraft. Actually, I think I might have saw the A320 for them as well. That's quite cool, so definitely nice to see that right there. A KLM 737-800, this is in their old livery with the non-winglet configuration. This is Papa Hotel Bravo X-Ray Charlie, so definitely a pleasant plane here. You can definitely see some mold deficiencies on this particular example, but it does have the double antenna on the bottom, which I really appreciate. So hopefully we'll see companies like Gemini integrate that feature here in the near future. Thank you, Sean. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you coming by this evening. Yeah, definitely going to need some more Singapore 777-300s for sure. And yeah, the Air Serbia E318s are very common over in Europe, so definitely need some releases of that here in the near future. A Condor A321, this one has some sort of color on it, so very cool to see that released. And a Dragonair L1011, it's Victor Romeo Hotel Mike Whiskey, so definitely a nice looking aircraft right there. And will be a popular offering. We don't get L1011s every day from JC Wings, so it's cool to see that one getting done right there. Darn it, my computer's trying to swipe into the multitask there, and I don't want to do that. There's the 1-400 JC release of the TWA MD-80 Wings of Pride. It's Echo India Bravo Whiskey Delta. As we were talking about with Todd, obviously, these TWA MD-80s got done by Gemini. Now JC is just doing them, so pretty crazy in reference to the effort. This is the Atlas Air 747-8 freighter, and it has the all-white livery. It's November 859 Gulf Tango, so the fourth to last 747 ever built. Quite nice. This is a Thai Cargo Boeing 747 freighter, and this is going to be with the flaps down, Hotel Sierra Tango Golf Juliet. So definitely quite a nice looking aircraft there, and I love the livery in reference to the effort. We do need a 1-400 light aircraft for sure. High Sky A330 would be really cool, I agree. There's the normal Thai. Let's continue on our way. And now they're doing the Ethiopian 350 and 1-400, which is quite awesome. So the flaps up and down. Both of them look quite nice right there. I love the Heckler Royal 757. In fact, I love it so much that it's on, or sorry, this is not it. This is the 80th anniversary livery, my bad. But I have the Heckler Royal somewhere over there in the collection. It's quite a gorgeous plane. Still destined to see the Northern Lights sometime. Really would like to do it for sure. Oh, the Fly Delta Jet sign, man. Here's the Varig 737-200. It's Papa Victor Mike Echo. Very nice picture right there. So cool to note that one. And credit to all these photographers that JC Wings uses these photos from, by the way. This is a Scandinavian 320, Oscar Yankee Kilo Alpha Romeo. Would love to get a Scandinavian. I don't have one yet, do I? Man, I would love to get. I have the CRJ 900. That's what I got. I don't have a wide body for S, or I don't think. I've got so many models. Like now I'm starting to forget. I think I just have the CRJ 900. In fact, I'm so curious about it. I'm going to have to bust out the database early because we're going to take a look at this later, but I need to verify and see if I have a Scandinavian aircraft real quick. Why can I not spell Scandinavian today? Or no, I just want my collection, darn it. We know the drill here. We just got to find and make sure. I think I just have the CRJ though. I just want to check real quick though. Yeah, I just have the CRJ. So that's my first Scandinavian airplane. But I definitely would like to get the 320 or the wide bodies too. So that'd be cool as well. Yes, it is, Jackson. That's it. You might have to RG767. Our next airplane is a MNG Airlines Airbus A321 freighter. That is a heck of a name for a cargo carrier. But anyways, Tango Charlie Mike Yankee Alpha. Very interesting livery. Looks pretty put together for a cargo carrier for sure. I don't even know where this carrier operates out of, but it's definitely interesting in reference to the effort. So that's what we have going with that airplane. That's a Wizz Air Airbus E321neo. It's the Team Hungary livery, and it's Hotel Alpha Lima Gulf India. So definitely a nice looking aircraft on that one right there for sure. Yes, Jake Campbell, it's very nice for sure. In Air Canada, Go Canada Go 777-300. That's a really great release. This is going to be Charlie Foxtrot India Tango Whiskey. So very cool to see that one there with the flaps up as well, because this is what we do around here. We know the drill. We make references. And then we get into an Austrian Boeing 787-9. I believe these are brand new. This is for Sean right here. This is going to be Oscar Echo Lima Papa Mike. Great looking plane. Really cool to see Austrian now with new wide body airplanes. And this will definitely carry their future for a very long time. And then the Qantas Go Australia Boeing 787-9. Very cool to see this aircraft right here in the 1-400 scale. Yeah, this is really nice considering
what was I going to say? What am I considering here? Considering that I got to see this at Dallas, but it's really cool to see them with this livery now. So that's awesome. I don't know if it's for the Olympics or what exactly the purpose is, but it's quite nice. Also, I just noticed that we haven't ran in any Pandas or Aviation 400s. There's a chance those are on the new releases page here, so I'll be sure to take a look at those once we get through all these pre-orders, because I think we're missing a couple of them. But anyways, yeah, GC Wings has been carrying us for sure, so we absolutely love to see it. Indeed TPA, and yeah, the Wizz Air is really nice for sure. And yeah, more Vietnams would be cool. Bamboos, definitely a bunch of Asia airlines they still have not got to do, but the Go Australia Qantas is definitely a popular one for sure. Another popular one is going to be this Air Jet 737 MAX 8. This has the Dominican flag on it, or Dominican Republic flag, excuse me. So yeah, that's quite nice. It looks really nice on it, and I think all the colors contrast really nicely together, so that's definitely a really cool one. That would be it, Sean. That would be it. There it is right there, and there's a flaps down coming up here shortly. In Air China 737-800 Bravo 5176, another nice aircraft. Speaking of Aviation 200, we found them, so it's in order. We haven't been able to find it. So good looking plane right there. So definitely a really cool one to note right there. JC Wings is also going to do the 747 prototype. Here it is in the 1:400 scale, polished November 7470. So looking definitely very nice right there. And then we have a Korean Air Airbus E380. It's Hotel Lima 7628 1-200. Definitely awesome to get as many 1-200 whales as we can, because they are really cool. And there's that flaps down Austrian as I expected. So we should be getting into Panda or Aviation 400. Speaking of Aviation 400, there it is, the American Airlines 787-9 that came out pretty much behind my back during my absence. This aircraft's been out for so long, I already have the model, and that will be coming out August 11th in Mass Unboxing 53. So yeah, this is a very, very cool airplane. It's super nice. The detachable gears are gorgeous. I don't have it here on my desk, but these Aviation 400 planes have got so advanced. So glad to get a new detachable gear airplane, and there's no doubt that they are really cool. So overall, very nice to see Aviation 400 continuing to diversify their offerings, and it definitely makes US collectors happy even once in a while when they do aircraft like this. Definitely need some more green airplanes, I completely agree, and so much so, let me go ahead and get a new background song, because we've been listening to Going Up for probably a half hour now. So let's go ahead and move into After Rain by Lakely Inspired, because they do great music, and I'll go ahead and loop it, and we will continue on to the next airplane, which will be here we go, a Etihad Boeing 787-9, the Manchester City livery, Alpha 6 Bravo November Delta. Feeling kind of bad that I have an Etihad already, or I would definitely be really all over getting another one of those Aviation 400 7.8s. That's a really good looking plane, so that's really cool to see right there. It's looking really great. A Lucky Air 737 MAX 8. I don't even know where they're based. This is going to be Bravo 206 November. This is an Aviation 200 release, so I think they're from China. Very cool to see. That's a complete British Airways rip-off livery. I'm sorry, that's a complete rip-off to British Airways. Don't know what we're doing there, but if British trademarks them, I wouldn't blame them. That's a complete rip-off right there. Yeah, the Manchester City livery is gorgeous. They also did a 1-200 Shotcut Airlines Airbus A350-900, and this has the Pandas on it. So very cool to see that as well, and it looks really great. So still would love to get an Aviation 200 aircraft at some point in the future. Okay, let's continue on. More Aviation 400s. There's the Austrian version of the 787-9, Oscar Echo Lima Papa Mike. Now again, detachable gears. So this definitely sparks my interest, as I don't have an Austrian aircraft. And this will definitely be their future. So we'll have to consider that one. That's really nice to see right there. It's really cool. And next we have these Shuriken Airlines Airbus A350-900 Bravo 32 Foxtrot 8, a very unique tail. This aircraft does have detachable gears as well, so we'd love to get some one day 400 detachable 350s for sure. And here's an Air TD Nui Boeing 787-9. This is Foxtrot Oscar Tango Oscar Alpha. Very cool to get this one too. I have the NG, so that's sufficient, but very cool to see this release right here for sure. We also have the Qantas 787-9. Very similar story on this one. It's Victor Hotel Zulu November Mike. I can't trade out every one of my aircraft just for detachable gears, but it would be cool. And they are very reasonably priced though, so it's definitely possible. Okay, very cool. Aviation 400 Corsair Airbus A330-9 Neo. It's Foxtrot Hotel Uniform Golf. Hotel rather. Very good looking plane. Would love to get the 330 Neo from them too and see what that mold's all about for Aviation 400. So very cool to see some unique airlines. Hopefully we'll have some more coming up right here. that would be the house livery. So very cool to see this one too. Foxtrot, Whiskey, Tango, Techno, Echo. So that's really nice to see right there. Oh, is an Air New Zealand one coming up? That would be really cool. Here is an Air Canada Go. This must be a relatively new scheme. 777-300ER. Very nice to see Aviation 400 doing it now, and it should be a very popular plane. And a China Southern Airbus E350-900, Bravo 30 Alpha Lima. They just got these, so all the companies are making their rounds in them. So that's definitely quite pleasant to see right there. Okay, next up we have the Aviation 400 version, the Go Australia Qantas 789. So definitely cool to see them getting it down right there. It's awesome. China Eastern E350-900 is Bravo 307 Yankee. Again, these are pretty standard liveries, so definitely would want a special if I get one of these for sure. And then we have an Air Senegal Airbus E330-900 Neo, and it's 6 Victor Alpha November Bravo, a very unique livery. So definitely a very obscure airline, and would like to add some of those in the future to add even more diversity to the Great Plains diorama. Here's a Starlink Airlines Airbus E330-900 Neo, and it's Bravo 58303. This is another airline I'd really like to add at some point, and this one's known a little bit more than Senegal, so maybe that will be a choice at some point. We'll see. Yes, definitely excited for the E321 XLR. It's going to be quite nice, to say the least. And Aviation 400 is also going to do the Ethiopian A350-1000. So you can tell when it's brand new because the retailers and companies and manufacturers will all use the same real-life image of the plane. So Aviation 400 definitely has it down here with this particular image right here. Air China is also getting their E350-900 done. It's Bravo 328 Quebec. So nice to see that one. I like the livery. It's a little bit more colorful than the other China carriers, so that's definitely a nice one right there. And then we have a Shotcut Airlines Airbus A350-900. This is Bravo 32 Golf 6, so I think they just all have slight variations. This one has a little bit more color on it, it appears. So cool to see them knocking it out. We also have a Japan 787-8, and that Expo 2025 livery's got to be new. So yeah, definitely another cool one to see right there, and it'll be popular for sure. Yeah, the Ethiopian 35K is going to probably continue to come up. Panda models, here we go. A Delta Airlines Boeing 767-400. This is the breast cancer research livery. Really good plane, November 845 Mike Hotel. These are due up in October. I remember buying the United and Delta. I believe they were released in August of last year, the standard liveries. I ordered them in November, and the Delta and United came in May of 24. So it definitely is a wait, but it is cool to see them getting announced, and they'll be quite awesome. So cool to see that one getting its rounds right there. We also got the pink livery here. It's November 845 Mike Hotel as well. So this was the original version. I actually had a Herpa 1-400 aircraft of this. Unfortunately, it broke. So I'm without that now. But who knows? We'll see down the line. Maybe I'll get this one, but I think I need to put my effort towards the SkyTeam release, which should be coming up here in just a moment. But the United Airlines orange sheet line, did anybody know this existed? It has the Broncos logo on it. I didn't even know this was an aircraft here in the old livery. But anyways, it's November 76064, so a very unique way to use the mold for sure, but they're doing it, so that's awesome. Very cool Emperor, that's awesome. And then we got the Aviation 400 releases. They'll be coming up. And there's the standard United old livery, which I believe Panda has not done yet. So good to see them knocking it out right there. And next up, we are on to the Panda 1-400 Balkan Virginian Airlines TU-134A, and it's Lima Zulu Tango Uniform Romeo. So definitely a very unique aircraft there. So cool to see that one right there. I didn't know that they had the Denver Broncos special. It's quite unique. Hey, a lot 1-400 for Emperor. This is going to be a TU-134A in Sierra Papa Lima Hotel Delta. So very cool to finally get a lot of 1-400 in any capacity. Same for the Interflug TU-134A, and it's Delta Delta Romeo Sierra Charlie Papa. So overall, a nice looking aircraft right there. It's quite wonderful. And there's the Delta SkyTeam 767-400. I might just go for the GeminiJets one. I still would like to get it because it's just a gorgeous plane. I just didn't want to overload my collection in some areas because I already have a healthy amount of Delta wide bodies. Plus, I would really like to get the LA special livery for the 2028 Olympics as well because I'll be flying for a while. So many moving pieces, but the SkyTeam livery is so hot, and I actually don't have a wide-body SkyTeam plane at all, so I definitely need to get one at some point, whether it's that one or Air France or equivalent. Now, we did look at these GeminiJets releases, but we did not look at these. So these are what I was referencing earlier. They snuck these behind my back too. I'm kind of kidding when I say that, but I didn't see these at all until I got back. The C models, 1-400 American Airlines Chrome 737-800. What an exciting aircraft this is right here from the Panda model subsidiary. Absolutely, we'll be getting this one. It's interesting because 921 is the current heritage plane, but 920, of course, is just an ironic registration to pick. So I'll definitely get one of these, and maybe if it's good, get another, but I'll just start with one, especially at $52. I think one is plenty to start with, but hopefully it's great. It should be awesome. So I'm looking forward to getting another Chrome 738 in the collection. Thank you, ROC Aviation, for telling me that. I appreciate it. Understandable Emperor for sure. And then Flagship Freedom also got done 905 Alpha November as well. If it's better than the NG, I might go ahead and get it, but I want to see some pictures. It doesn't say when they're due up here on the, or it says August. Okay, so when they come out, I'll evaluate their pictures and decide where I want to go. So we'll see. What about Flagship Freedom? I do have money for Flagship Freedom. That's a joke. But what a reference. That was about 5 years ago to today. So we'll have some fun videos to reflect on that. 10K subscriber special, 7-year anniversary, along with all those other memories. So crazy to think that that was 5 years ago. My channel was 2 years old when I made some of those videos. So yeah, it's quite crazy to think where we are now, but we continue to grind on a daily basis. And we also have the Vulcan TE-134, and this is an A-3 variant. It's Lima Zulu to Tango uniform mic. So very nice to see that right there. We love Flagship Freedom. So now we're on to these GeminiJets releases that were covered at Chicago O'Hare Airport, I believe. Yeah, these were at O'Hare. So check out that video from July 3rd, which was earlier in the month, about 3 weeks ago now. Okay, let's continue on to our next round of Inflight 200 releases, where we'll start with a Condor Airlines Airbus A300 rather, in their standard livery. This aircraft's going to be Delta Alpha India Bravo Foxtrot. So nice looking aircraft there, and won the 200, and ultimately it looks really nice. So if only we had the money for retro. Our next aircraft is the Japan Transocean Boeing 737-800, and this is going to be in a special livery, which is registered Juliet Alpha 06 Romeo Kilo. So overall looking very nice for this aircraft, and feel free to let me know what you think about the stream format. I've just realized that I've been talking pretty much nonstop for an hour, so just taking a little break here, as is quite the variety of aircraft that we've been assessing here. So again, I really hope all of you have enjoyed this, and this has been a great way to catch up on all these releases, considering that we've had over an hour worth of them that I have been behind on. So I'll definitely do this in the future if it's needed, or just for fun. Again, there's so much I can live stream here on my computer for sure, so we got to explore ideas during the school year and come up with some fun ones. So if you are enjoying, feel free to leave a like. I would greatly appreciate it, and feel free to share it with your friends. Again, we are very close. We are dangerously close now to 10,000 subscribers. Taking a look here at my account right now, we have 9,904, so we are 96 subscribers away from 10,000 followers, which is so cool to think about. So again, I really appreciate all of you supporting my account, and I'm super excited for what's to come here in the near future. So that is the current status of where we're at right now. 96 subscribers till 10,000. What a number. That's so cool. Okay. Here is another one of those. This is the blue version, and this is going to be Juliet Alpha 05 Romeo Kilo. So another nice aircraft right there. Blue Shark. Inflight's also going to do the Go Australia 789, of course, because what more would you expect? So that's really cool to see them doing that one. And our next aircraft is going to be an Iberia Express A321, and this is going to be a Neo. This is Echo Charlie Oscar Alpha Sierra, and this one has a cool sticker on it. So definitely really nice to see Iberia. They're a nice airline. Got to fly a handful of their flights, and it was really fun. In Mexico, DC 1030 X-Ray Alpha Delta Uniform Hotel. So X-Ray Dud, essentially. Or yeah, Exa Dud. This aircraft is quite a nice livery, so definitely cool to see it there for $175 US. Here's a Mexicana E318. There's that teal livery I was thinking of. Quite a few Mexicanas today. This one is going to be X-Ray Alpha Uniform Bravo Quebec. So the Mexicanas definitely are making rounds for sure. And a Singapore Airbus E300 9 Victor Sierra Tango Golf. So another gorgeous looking plane right there in reference to the livery. Okay, next we are on to a brand new Boeing 727-200, and this is the Calder Mexico livery, November 407 Bravo November. So definitely a very unique release. In a Delta Airlines Airbus E330-300 with a sticker, November 905 Bravo November. I didn't even know that was a registration for those. That might be a typo, but anyway, definitely a great looking plane right here. Sticker is very unique, so cool to see Inflight doing the Delta wide body right there. It's quite nice. And next up, we have a brand new Airbus E320. This has the billboard titles on it. Very unique. This is going to be November 905 Bravo November. So yeah, I think it was just a copy and paste mistake. But hey, it happens to the best of us. Good looking plane right there. Very cool to see. And overall, that's quite nice right there, to say the least. And then our purple one. This one's going to be 902 Bravo November. So I'm kind of shocked at this. The underbelly now is a dark ocean blue or a gray. I can't even tell what kind of color that is. I'll look at my other screen. Looks like more of maybe a dark green. I don't even know what that is. Very interesting right there for sure. So definitely really interesting to note that. That's really interesting. Yes, a Delta 330. We love it. Okay, let's continue. I believe we still have a handful more, of course. This is a TUI 757-200, and this is Golf Oscar Bravo Golf. So definitely a very nice looking aircraft. I love RB211, so very cool to see that one right there. Dark green, that's what I kind of was thinking at the end there. So, hey, UTA is getting another aircraft, this time a more full flavor livery. This is a Boeing 747-300 Foxtrot Golf Echo Tango Bravo. So definitely a nice assortment of aircraft right there, to say the least. This is a Seaboard World Boeing 747-200. This aircraft's going to be November 701 Sierra Yankee, or Whiskey rather. A very unique plane. So very cool to see this one. Overall, it looks really nice. And again, very unique in reference to the effort. This is a Mexicana 737-800. And this is X-Ray Alpha Alpha Tango Mike. Definitely a nice looking plane right there. I like the livery. It's pretty sleek. So that's definitely really cool right there. Okay, let's continue on. Our next aircraft is going to be a Classic Airways L1011 Gulf India Oscar India. Nice looking livery, very unique. The font is probably the most unique I've ever seen on an airplane. I've never seen anybody use really fancy borderline cursive like titles, so that's really interesting to note. How about a TWA doubles DC940? This is November 933 Lima. So cool to see TWA's twin stripe livery getting advertised again, this time by Inflight 200. That's quite cool. That's right, Emperor. That is exactly right. Oh, Inflight 200 is doing Air Force 2. This is the C-32A 980001. That's quite a nice aircraft right there. Would love to get some more unique 1-200 planes. Definitely a cargo one here soon. Hopefully I can score a good deal on one of those. And military, and then cool variants of passenger planes like this would be cool too. That's right, Jamie and Campbell. It's really great. A brand new DC-862 Cowdler, and this is going to be November 1805. So cool to see a brand new getting a wide array of aircraft by Inflight 200 there. Wow, we're already up to the last two rows of this page, but I definitely want to check the other ones here and make sure that I didn't miss any of the other ones. We'll have some videos on Aero Classics and just want to make sure I didn't miss any other new releases. A Swiss Boeing 777-300ER. This is a standard livery. It's Hotel Bravo Juliet November Lima. So definitely a nice looking aircraft right there. It's quite wonderful. This is a Japan Airlines Boeing 747-300. It's Juliet Alpha 8163. So definitely another very nice looking plane right there in reference to the design. This is a Hawaiian Doubles DC-1030. It's November 35084. Love the livery, and overall it looks really nice. So that's definitely really cool. In Air Canada Rouge, Airbus A320. I didn't even know they had 320s. This is going to be Charlie Golf Foxtrot Delta uniform. Just thought 319s and 321s ruled the world for Rouge. So cool to see a 320 and learn about that. And these are Aero Classics that will be covered in a separate video. So let me go ahead and take us up to the top page, and I want to look through the new arrivals here to see, disregard all those. But I want to see if there was any obvious planes that I missed here that we haven't covered before here on the channel. So yeah, man, what a lineup that was. That was a bunch of cool releases here. So let's see. So these are all NGs. Looking here to see if I missed any. I feel like these have been covered, but if not, there's a bunch of 787s here, including Air New Zealand and Air France. So very cool to see all these. Those are quite wonderful. But I believe those were covered at some point, so that's awesome. And yeah, the rest of this looks pretty familiar, so I believe we did cover the rest of this, just making sure. But yeah, man, that was a bunch of cool releases. Love these A380s. Would like to get one after seeing them again in Honolulu recently. I saw the light blue and the orange. The dark blue is probably my least favorite anyway, but they're all nice, so there's no complaints there. And yeah, I think we have took a look at all these at some point or another. So Jet Collector is a really great website. I would recommend it. if you're interested in any sort of aircraft in general, because they have a great stock. No sponsorship, of course, just wanted to promote their efforts because they really do have a awesome catalog of airplanes for sure. So yeah, definitely really great. So overall, a wide variety of releases right there. I really hope all of you enjoyed that. So yeah, I want to spend a few minutes looking at this brand new model aircraft database website, MABDA, and we'll take a look at this here for a few moments. But again, a full video will be coming out on this, and then we'll summarize with any additional thoughts, any talking points, and then any other sources you all would like me to take a look at. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the model aircraft database real quick. So this is the premier place to add your model aircraft collection into, along with tracking any collection that you're interested in. It's a really great website, modelaircraftdatabase.com. So you can see here, it has all the latest releases, and then it has the database, which is super cool. The amount of filters and various pieces here are really great. We'll dive into it in the full video, but you can look by aircraft, you can look by airlines, you can look by registrations, and so many other features. So that's really cool. You have the collection page here where you can see all the collections, and you can also sort them in any way you want. For example, here's the largest collections on the database. You can see Cebu Pacific has 10,000 offerings, which is really cool. And then here's my collection, which we'll take a look at next. So you can take a look at the My Collection page where it shows you all the models that you have in your collection. So as you can see here, it's sorted by item number. So you can see it starts with Herpas because they're just numbers. Then it goes over to Aero Classics because they're AC, and so on. So I have my full collection here. I have over 700 model aircraft in my collection. I also have all these here that are for sale or trade. So if you're interested in any of these, feel free to comment below and let's talk about it, because I would be interested in getting these aircraft to a new home so they can be used. So yeah, it's a really awesome database. Overall, it's really great. For example, we'll take a look at JJ Skippy's collection to show you what another collection would look like and kind of some of the features that you can use and how you can sort them. So here's his collection. So you can put about the collectors. He's an aviation enthusiast from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, of course. And about his collection, he predominantly collects North American models with two main focuses on modern and retro aviation. He has 347 aircraft with 3 on his wish list, and he has his socials listed here. But you can see the various aircraft that he has. There's so many cool features here. So you can look at the scale of aircraft. So I know he doesn't have many 1 to 200 scale aircraft, so I can just sort by that. He has 3 a Delta, Eastern, and Western Airlines aircraft, so that's really cool. You can also see that, let's see what all North Central Airlines aircraft that he has. So you can see here North Central, and you can sort by that, and you can see that he has a wide array of North Central aircraft dating back to 2004 and all the way up until 2024 with this recent release here from Aero Classics. So it's so cool to be able to sort this. Another really cool feature, there's so many, we'll talk about them more in the video, but let me go ahead and X out North Central. You can see here on the right your mutual models that you have with him. So I have the United E170, I have the Aero Classics FedEx E300 Freighter, I have the Northwest, the UPS. So you can see what mutual models we both have, the Delta 732. So it's really cool. And then on the left, obviously, is the confirmation that he has in his collection. So you can see he has a wide array of aircraft that I don't, and then I have a wide array of aircraft that he doesn't, of course. So you'd have to put it on my page to see what aircraft I have that he doesn't. But you can see I have every American plane that he has, which is not surprising at all. I have quite a few of the Allegiant aircraft that he has too. So it's definitely really neat to kind of sort it. You can see here's a wide array of Gemini, and then we have quite a few mutual Alaska Airlines aircraft. We have a couple of mutual British Airways. So yeah, it's really cool to see all these differences and just all of what a collection looks like side by side. But again, so many cool features, brand, item number, all of it. We'll take a more closer look at my collection here. So example, if you want to see all the American Airlines aircraft that I have, let's take a look at all my Americans, because I have a bunch of American Airlines aircraft. This is not American Eagle. This is American Airlines by itself. I have 141 different aircraft types. These do not include duplicates. So I have example 2 Apollo American 737-800s, but I have 141 different types. Yes, it's a super cool website. It's a great way to keep track of all the planes that you have. You can even add custom airplanes into your collection, which is super cool. So I have all my Shapeways planes, of course, so I'll be adding these. But you can see it's really cool. I also really enjoy sorting it by the most recent aircraft release. So let me see if I can do this here. Release. So you can see here, let's see if I can do this. Sometimes my brain breaks. So you can see the newest release tab right here. So you can see the Aviation 400 American 789 is my newest plane, and then the Frontier 321 Neo from Aero Classics, and then these NG MD-80s. So you can just see how cool it is to see how it's sorted like this. And you can also do some really cool features when you have these aircraft. So you can say that you have it in your collection, again, for sell and trade. On the wish list, you can have duplicates of these planes, a source, how much you paid for it in different currencies, by the way, the date of when you got this plane in the notes. So it goes on and on and on. You can make this as detailed as you want. It would definitely will recommend the J Mad Dog to the owner or the producer of this form. So a huge thank you, J Mad Dog. He's done an amazing job to make this a reality, and that shout out will be very prominent in the video on the database. But I'll be sure to note to him that try to get PNG logos in here for all of it, so it looks like these, because they look quite nice on the background. But you can see all the new releases that I have, and then we can even take a look at my oldest airplanes, like the planes that don't even have release dates. They're so old. So let's go ahead and see what my oldest plane is, and that's going to be a 1985 release American 767-200 by Shabak. But my first diecast GeminiJets, for example, is the El Al 747-400. So yeah, it's super great. Modelaircraftdatabase.com. It's really awesome to gain a better understanding of what collections look like. And again, you can just see, there's so many different filters to use. It's so really fascinating, in my opinion. Let's take a look at, for example, the country of airplanes. So you can see Herpa, well, that kind of just sorts it by, actually, you got to exit out country. So you can see here's the countries, and they're sorted in that range. And yeah, you just go straight into Canada, and it sorts them all by Canada. And then I'm sure the United States is probably at the back, isn't it? United States should be somewhere back here. Let's see. Yeah, there's United States. You can see all my US airplanes. So it's very cool, the different features that it has and what you can do with it. You can also take a look at your aircraft types, which is just incredible. So it starts with ATRs, Airbus A220s. I mean, just it goes on and on and on. And it's just so cool to see a collection like this. So yes, Shrek to on VHS, absolutely will be reviewing collections, absolutely will, and I'm really excited for that, as I think it will be really fun content to really evaluate a different sector of the community for sure. I just want to note that here on my sticky notes so I don't forget, because that is a great idea, and I think it would be a bunch of fun to look at that for sure. Overall, it's really great. And Gavin, we will look at your collection. Don't worry, I promise. We'll look at it real quick. Gavin will get the nod here. So let's find ROC Aviation. That will be, let's see, that's going to be right here, ROC Aviation. You can see that he has 162 different aircraft types. And we have some Mitra models here. He has quite a wide array of aircraft, some Aero Classics, and a bunch of GeminiJets, American Airlines planes. He has some Allegiants. And yeah, a couple British Airways, a very healthy amount of Delta Airlines planes. He also has a new fictional model airport on Instagram. You can go check it out if you want. Coastal Carolina Airport. Yeah, a bunch of Delta. So yeah, he has a very cool collection, a very healthy fleet of JetBlue airplanes. I guess only one Southwest. That's kind of crazy to think about. It might just be the item number though. Here's all those United aircraft that he has, a handful of US Airways. And here's his NG collection. He has a bunch of these NG models, which is nice. There's some more Southwest planes. I was expecting to see some more of those. And yeah, let's even sort out his collection to kind of think about it differently. So let's sort it by the, I guess, material. Why not? Let's see what the material looks like. I guess they're all die-cast, aren't they? So that didn't quite work as well as what I was expecting it to. But let's go for the scale. Does he have any 1-200 planes? He does. He has a 1-200 Delta 717 from last September. I really wanted that plane, so that's really cool to see. And we also have a JetBlue A321 Neo, so that's quite nice as well. So definitely really cool to note all those features. So yeah, it's a very great database. J Mad Dog did a wonderful job, so huge shout out to him for making this possible. And I'll definitely save all the additional collections here for upcoming videos so we can make more content on it. But I do want to take a look at the largest collection on the database real quick because it's impressive, and that's going to be Cebu Pacific with over 10,000 model airplanes in his collection. So as you can see here, he has a wide variety of 1-200, 1-400 planes. It goes on and on and on, predominantly 1-500s as well. He has a ginormous fleet of 1-500 airplanes, so ginormous that he has 111 of them. So what's his main scale? Was it? I saw a bunch there, so I was assuming that's what it was. I haven't seen. So he has almost 8,000 1-400 scale airplane models, which is incredible. Jay, your fleet's been done by Cebu Pacific, my friend. I promise. Just look at all these 1-400 planes. They go on and on and on. Let's see how many GeminiJets airplanes that he has to diversify a little bit more or get a little bit more particular. He has 1,200 GeminiJets planes. Maybe Aero Classics. He has 4,200 Aero Classics 1-400 releases. That's crazy. 170 pages worth of Aero Classics releases. That's unreal. Unreal. 170 pages or 4,200 worth of 1-400 Aero Classics model airplanes. It's a bunch of Aero Classics planes. I have like 50 of them. I do not have, I mean, they just go on and on and on as well. These are all 2003, 2004 releases. So this is what happens, guys, when you just continue to collect out of select releases. So as you can see, it just goes on and on. So I mean, just unreal. So bunch of releases here of Aero Classic airplane models. So that's impressive. And then I'm sure he also has a wide variety of NGs probably. He has 160 NGs, which is definitely a healthy number as well. So it's definitely worth noting that. He has almost 1,000 Phoenix model airplanes, which is just crazy. So yeah, this is a incredible fleet for sure. So yeah, there's a bunch of really cool fleets, and we'll continue to filter through them in upcoming videos. But yeah, it's just really cool to get a brief look at this here. And again, I'll be sure to upload a full video on all this in the very near future. It's actually already recorded, so I just got uploaded. So yeah, feel free to let me know if you have any additional questions or thoughts that's going on, or any additional talking points. But yeah, this was really great to get to cover all those releases and also take a quick look at the database. I definitely want to do more live streams like this and dive into some other components of the model aircraft landscape on the computer. I think there's a bunch of cool material we can look at. So yeah, is there any additional questions, thoughts, or any additional topics that we want to talk about here? So really great to get to do this live stream today. I hope all of you enjoyed it. This was a wonderful way to catch up, and now we'll be in wonderful position to continue to evaluate these releases on a more consistent basis. So yeah, very fun stream. Definitely expect more streams like this in the future. We'll do some chat ones. Again, I would like to look at some collections, so we might just spend a whole stream looking at the database because it really is fascinating. And GeminiJets database is good too, so we'll definitely take a look at these databases. And yeah, I'm excited for the NG releases. Those should be coming out anytime. Absolutely Pacific. We'll definitely do another chat live stream, so definitely expect that. Yeah, any questions, any thoughts? I definitely will, Gavin. I promise. Don't worry about it. I'm busy doing work right now, so you got to respect it. But any additional thoughts, questions, or any additional comments that any of you would like to make before we conclude this awesome live stream? I had a bunch of fun today, and I hope all of you did too. Really great to cover all those releases. There was probably 150, 200 planes, and then database is great. And then, yeah, here's a look at some of my models here on my desk real quick for fun. So let me make this full screen here real quick so you can get a better look here at my models. Not the monitor. I don't want to move that. And there's my GeminiJets hat as well. Hope that you like that. We have a NG 1-400 American MD-83. It's November 9620 Delta, which is quite wonderful. I got a 1-400. These are just the models I've been looking at on my desk the last couple of days. This is the KLM E2 that I got to fly. This was really fun. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Super Flyer 991. I'm glad that you're able to snag that, dude. It was really cool. It was a great sell. I got a United DC-8 here on my desk. That was a very good deal. I got the Alaska 737 MAX 9 that I flew to Hawaii and back from LAX. So very cool to get to see that one. Appreciate that, ROC Aviation. That's very nice of you to say that, my friend. Again, here's that beautiful bare metal Atlas 747 freighter. It's really cool. This is a Dash 8 variant. And then I have a very special plane that I have here on my desk is the Phoenix British Airways A320 Sharklet One World. This is super special after seeing it like 11 times, and not even all Heathrow. I saw it at Stockholm too, which was so fun, and overall really enjoyed that. That was really great. So that was really cool. I got a NG. This is really nice, coming up in a massive unboxing. United 757-300. Really cool to get the NG stretch job now, which is quite a beautiful mold. So that's really cool. Oh, hey, B767. Hope you're doing wonderful. And this is the last one that I can pick up without breaking the table because of how congested it is. But I got the Inflight United Airbus A321 Neo as well, and it's quite a beautiful plane. So really glad to have that, and overall it looks really nice in reference to the effort. So it's quite great. So yeah, a bunch of really cool planes there. And again, I really hope all of you enjoyed this. You can see the model airport going strong right there. Very excited to get the new ground service equipment rocking and reloading, and definitely check out my model Instagram. I'll go ahead and pull that up here so you can see what I'm talking about. But I've been posting a bunch of fun plane spotting pictures on my main account, and then obviously with my model account, I've been posting all of my model pictures. So let's take a detailed look at that. That's going to be this account right here. It's RRA Models, and you can see here that I post a wide array of model aircraft pictures. So definitely check that out if you haven't got a chance to. And obviously my main profile here where I post my plane spotting videos and pictures like this Etihad A350, Aer Lingus Airbus A320neo, among many other really cool planes. So they're quite wonderful right there. But yeah, any additional final questions? The United Pencil is great. Definitely do yourself a favor and get that. And then one more peek at the database here because of how awesome it is. And here's another look at my collection. And just for fun, let's see how my United Airlines collections made it here over the last handful of years. I'm curious how this collection has developed. It's got to be like 50 or so, I think. 51, I was thinking that, and the regionals probably bring it up to 60. So you can see quite a wide variety of GeminiJets, and then I think I have quite a few NGs from them too. Yeah, I got like 20 NGs from just United. Wow, that's cool. And then my Southwest also has grown really large. So let's see, it might be like 75. 62. Okay, that sounds about right. So quite a few, and then the duplicates. I can't forget the duplicates aren't listed in the unique aircraft type. And then Delta, of course, I don't have Delta connection on here too. All right, I filter like that. What am I doing? Delta, I have 66 total airplanes. I have a handful of duplicates. So yeah, definitely really cool to get to see all that. Yes, Pacific, I'll save yours for the evaluation video to make it fair for everyone. And as for American Airlines, 156 different aircraft types and duplicates for days. So 200 American Airlines planes is fair. Somewhere there, maybe a little more than that, but you can see all these beautiful MD, let's just be really fair and let's look up the McDonnell's MD-80 aircraft type to be the grand finale of this live stream. I have 14 different versions. I think I like 20 of them right now. So I'll definitely do a full American Airlines MD-80 collection video before I sell some of the GeminiJets, which I hate doing that, but I can't keep them all. It's uneconomical, so... yeah, 760 is a great plane. Continental, I think I have 3. Let's see. I think I got 3. Let's see. Continental Airlines. I think I got just 3. I might have a 1-200 that I'm forgetting about, but let's see. Continental, I have 4 Continental airplanes. I got the 727, 737-200, 737-500, and the DC-910. So 4 airplanes, not bad. Continental Airlines. And why not, since we're here, is there any last airline? Somebody give me an airline in the chat that you'd like to see. I have a bunch of internationals. I'm trying to think. Let's see. Alaska's a pretty interesting one. JetBlue is another one of my larger fleets. I'm trying to think of any other mega powerhouse airlines that I'm forgetting about. But I'll take the first one that comes up in the chat, even if it's just 2 planes or whatever, just for fun. We already did Southwest. Lot, I don't think I even have a lot plane, but we're about to find out. Nope, I don't have a lot, so I'm going to have to take the next airline. Alaska, okay, let's look at Alaska to close it out, and then we will be back tomorrow for tomorrow's video. And then, of course, very excited for what's to come in the near future on the live streams, of course. So how about 23 Alaska planes? I got the One World 1-200, the 321neo 1-200. I got the standard 739 old livery, the Boeing 100 years, E175, I have both releases, the Q400, 737-700, a MAX 9, the retro Q400, honoring those who serve 175, the MAX 9 West Coast Wonders, Horizon Retro 175, both the Salmon new ones by 1-400 Gemini NG, the 75th anniversary, I got 738, Veteran 738, Star Wars, new Salmon people, One World 739, honoring those who serve, in the Alaska 320 Sharklet, and then I'm waiting on the 321 Neo from Texan Airplane Store right now. So yeah, definitely a really good fleet, and I really hope all of you enjoyed this live stream. It was an absolute blast to do for y'all, and feel free to message me if you have any questions. Otherwise, expect a bunch more exciting live streams to come in the future, and tomorrow will be in a very exciting airport update. So I hope all of you are excited for that. A bunch of really great videos coming up, and I hope each and every one of you are excited for those. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do it for today's live stream. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and everybody for watching. My name's Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust process. Do you love you do. My name's Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon as Redriveraviation is signing off. Really appreciate all of you being here today. Thank you all so much. It was super fun, and expect